So Vyasadeva, even after writing all the Vedas, was still not happy in the heart. So he approached his spiritual master, Narad Muni. This is in 5th chapter, first canto Srimad Bhagavatam. And he reveals that I have written so many Upanishads, so many Puranas, so many Vedas, but I am still not feeling happy. So Narad Muni tells him that you have to write something which describes the glories of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unless and until you come to that platform, you're not going to be happy. So he wrote the summary of Vedanta Sutras, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is a summary of all the Vedanta Sutras. So Srimad Bhagavatam is Amalam Puranam, the most glorified scripture, and it is very, very purifying. Srimad Bhagavatam purifies. Each and every word is purification. You know, when somebody is feeling very hot, and I'm sorry, very cold, and suddenly the sun comes up in the sky, and then the temperature rises, and immediately the coldness is gone. Or Prabhupada gives the example of fog. There's a lot of fog in the environment, but the minute sun comes out, the fog is gone. Like that, Srimad Bhagavatam absorbs every impurity from our heart. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So we Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki, we get established in the pure devotional service. But the Vedic knowledge is very, Vedic language is very flowery. And I want to make sure that you are understanding that why there are so many Vedas, because there are so many desires. There's so many people desiring so many things. So Vyasadeva is accommodating each one. But here it's also written that it's not a very big knowledge. You know, going to higher authority with a wish list is not devotion. It could be called as a worship, that they're worshipping, but that's not devotion. They're two different words. Devotion means love, means surrender, and surrender or love means service. Like a mother loves the child, what does it mean? She's rendering service to the child. Okay, so there's a difference between worship and devotion. So, who are very attached to the sense enjoyment and material opulence and are bewildered, you know, all in all. If I can't have this thing, that thing, or if I can't, you know, people, they line up for a Black Friday sale. Sita Mataji must know that, right? There's a day in America
Yes,
called Black
Mataji.
Friday.
Day after Thanksgiving. You should never go there, Mataji.
Yeah, but people line up in the cold. It's so cold in eastern part of the country, sub-zero temperature. They take their Eskimo tents and hand warmers, and they line up before the shops open in midnight for the sales. They are lining up from 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and sometimes even before that. They're crazy. Why? Because they want something, some matter sitting inside. This much devotion if someone has for Krishna, imagine how much decorated they will become. So the resolute determination for devotional service to Supreme Lord will not take place. That person will not be able to become Krishna conscious. So samadhi, this is a definition of samadhi in 2.44. Samadhi means fixed mind. Means when the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is called samadhi. Not like I'm sitting every morning for 10 minutes in meditation and I am in samadhi. No, 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 no. Samadhi means function of the mind where I am situated in understanding myself. And what is the understanding of the self? What is the understanding of the self? Why don't you tell me? Why don't you raise your hand? What do we mean by saying understanding of the self?
Not the body.
Okay, so if that's not
we are soul. We are soul.
We are just a supreme. We are a soul.
Part and parcel of Krishna.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay, go Modi. So we're not the body, we're soul. Number 1, number 2, number 3, soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Then number 4, that Sambandha is established. I am soul, I'm part and parcel of Krishna. What is the Abhidaya?
You have to be in constant service for Krishna.
Very nice, very nice. Prayojan. What is the prayojan of realization? The goal
is to reach Krishna.
Very nice. So that is called self-completeness or the self-realization. Thank you. That first I realized that I am, thank you everyone. Dharneshwari Mataji, Shashi Prasad Prabhu, Sita Mataji. I am glad that the fundamentals are becoming clear. So Sambandha, I'm part and parcel of Krishna. Then okay, I'm part and parcel of Krishna. Then what is my duty in that essence? Then I have to serve Krishna. Okay, why? Why do I have to serve Krishna? So that I can go back to him. Okay, that is why. So that is the goal of self-realization, not sitting 10 minutes and concentrating on the power of the mind and then going whole day and doing sense gratification. That is not samadhi. People are cheated and they don't want to budge from this understanding. Go and preach that, my dear sir, my dear ma'am, your concept, you're very nice that you're doing this mental exercise, but may I please do some editing? They don't want. Very happy. They are spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on these yoga studios for some concentration of the mind, but the same mind will give them another body. What is the benefit? So Vedas mainly deal with the subject matter of three modes of material nature. So, but Bhagavad Gita or scriptures, sublime scriptures deal with the subject matter of Shuddha Sattva, beyond three modes of material nature. That I am not in part and parcel of the of this material world. I have nothing to do. But in the process of realization, there will be so many obstacles because we are not used to. For example, somebody is not used to chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It is a work. It is a work that to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So what do we do? Associate with devotees and plus tolerate such dualities. That Prabhupada gives two examples in this chapter only. One example was given in 2.14 Matra Spashastu Kantaya, where he says that a woman is not hesitant to cook even in the hot months of the year, May and June. In India, it's very hot. I remember it used to be so hot. There is nothing called central cooling, central heating. But the lady does not hesitate. She cooks. She tolerates, right? So much tolerance. And another example he gives is the water. Water is water, but sometimes cold, sometimes hot. It tolerates. And in that context, he said one must take bath early in the morning. Even if it is very hot, very cold in the months of January and February, one must still get up and take bath. So that is some different types of tolerance. What is the result? So I can become Krishna conscious. Okay, so I'm explaining Krishna spending some time, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 45 verse. So 42, 43, 44, 45. These verses is explaining about the Vedic knowledge and does not need it. We don't have to go through Karma Kand first to come to Bhakti Yoga. And there is a lot of tolerance and all the purpose of the Vedas can be fulfilled only by surrendering to Krishna. By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, everything is done. And then he says that, listen, you're not going to go against the Vedic knowledge. You're thinking it is a sinful activity because this is against the Vedas. But it is not. Because Vedic knowledge also gives information about the prescribed duties. So you must understand that what is your prescribed duty. You're not entitled to the fruits of action. You just do your duty. This is a very famous verse, right? Karmani Adhikaraste. Ma Phaleshu Kadachanan. Sure, eat something. Ma Karma Phal Hetur Bhurma Te Sango Asta Karmani. And Prabhupada describes three kinds of works: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duty is a function which is to be done when one is in the mode of material nature. Capricious work means that vikarma, something that should not be done, but we do it. Inaction means not performing one's prescribed duty. Okay. Any questions so far?
Looks fine, Mataji.
Okay, so who would like to read the 48th verse? Prabhu, any news from him? Again, forgot.
No, Mataji.
Okay. Okay, who would like to read?
I'll take it up.
1 second, Prabhu, 1 second. Says Vimla Mataji is raising her hand. Is it okay if I give it to her, Prabhu?
Please, Mataji, no problem.
Much. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yogastha kuru karmani sangatyakta dhananjaya siddha siddhau samau bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Translation: perform your duty equipoise, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure.
You're reading, please read from the screen. You're reading some other translation.
Oh, yes, I was just reading it from the Veda base. Okay, translation. Be steadfast in yoga, O Arjuna, perform your duty and abandon all attachment to success or failure. Such evenness of mind is called yoga. Purport. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord, and because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness, only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. That is the right way. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. Arjuna is Kshatriya, and as such he is participating in the Varnasrama Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnasrama Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself as is the rule in the material world by the screen. Because my hand raised, that is, it is used in the Vishnu Purana that Varnasrama Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself as he is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnasrama Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. This is a very nice verse. What is yoga? Be steadfast in yoga means be situated in yoga. Perform your duty and abandon all attachment to success or failure. Such evenness of mind is called yoga. So nice, right? Samadhi is described, yoga is described, that concentrate the mind upon Supreme by controlling ever-disturbing senses. We actually cannot control the senses. Yeah, if there is a nice show going on in the TV, I sometimes peep up. Yeah, that lady looks nice. That person looks nice, nicely decorated. So it's still attraction is there. It's so-called nice. But the minute there is a service, oh, I have to go offer food to Krishna, then you can just come back. So the idea what I'm trying to tell is, Prabhupada explains that we just cannot control and sit in one place and say that I'm controlling my mind. That was for people who are living in Satya Yuga and going to forest and doing meditation. It is not going to happen for people in Kali Yuga. It may be possible for one or two, but majority will not. It will not happen. Sorry. So better to engage the senses in the service of Krishna. That is a difference between philosophy of Krishna consciousness and any other philosophy. Because Krishna consciousness means controlling the mind by active engagement in Krishna's service. Like you all are sitting here. We are actively engaged. We are not saying, oh, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not. Ajamila. We have so many failures in that case. Ajamila. Now, who knows the pastime of Ajamila? Can you give like 2-minute snapshot of what happened? Who knows it?
He was the one who was after the prostitute female, and
Yes.
got because of he was not the control on his senses, and then but at the time of death he thinks about his last son Narayana. Am I mixing two stories like a combo offer?
No, you're
Okay,
not.
okay. So that's what the. So finally, at the time of when he's unwell and he's sick on the bed, he calls his younger son Narayana, and Lord Narayana. Then it's like he attains the ultimate, the supreme, because he has called our Krishna's name.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu. So Jamala was a very pious person. His father trained him very nicely in Vedic knowledge and the ritual of deity worship. But when he went to the forest to collect 4 types of grasses for the worship of the deity, on his way back he saw a prostitute hugging a man, and both were drunk. Both were drunk. That's what Vyasdev writes. So he tried to control himself. He tried to remember all the verses of the Vedas that he memorized. He just tried very nice, very tightly tried, but he could not. His memory, his mind carried that memory, and he went back to fetch the prostitute. It was not that at that moment she got hurt. So that is called Falgu Vairagya. Falgu Vairagya is, I think I have explained it. Falgu is a river. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada explains it's a river which looks very deep. It looks so deep, but when somebody puts a hand under that river, the sand comes between the fingers. So basically, it's not deep. So like that, a person may look like a very deeply renounced, but the minute the sense gratification picture comes in front of the eyes, the event or chance comes in front of the eye, they can't control. So many people, so we have to be very careful. That's why Prabhupada says before taking initiation, hear the spiritual master for 1 year. Take shelter and hear for 1 year. Don't just do it because it is a serious business. Okay, such evenness of mind is called yoga. So what is the best way to practice yoga? Engage in Krishna's service. Engage. So if we first engage which part of the body in Krishna's service, what do we engage first? Yes, please raise your hand.
The mind.
Tongue.
Yes, very nice. Tongue. What do we do with the tongue?
Chanting.
Chant.
Chant
To give
Eat Krishna Prasadam.
teach
Eat Krishna Prasadam.
very
teach
nice.
Teach also.
Mataji, that takes time. We cannot become a preacher right away. It takes time to speak about Krishna. But yes, that is also nice, Vajanti Mataji. But first is we chant, vibrate, and we taste Krishna Prasadam.
Yes.
What is the other organ that can be engaged in Krishna's service? What you're doing right now?
Hearing.
Ear.
Satsanga.
Satsanga, ear.
Very nice. Thank you so much. So we are hearing about Krishna. Shanvatam Swa Katha Krishna. Punya Shavana Kirtana.
Kirtanam. Singing also.
Hearing about Krishna is so purifying. If I hear about this Bollywood actor, that Bollywood actor, how many people died of corona, how many are living, how many are exposed, how many tests is available, the anxiety happens, right? Just by the sound vibration, the body undergoes some changes psychologically. What is that changes? That one becomes apprehensive. But hearing about Krishna, one becomes like, yes, I have nothing to fear. But hear from who? Who should we hear from? From Shah Rukh Khan? With all
From authorized guru, from authorized person.
So who is the authorized person? Very nice. Who is the authorized person?
One from the ISKCON's, from Krishna's, the generation kind of thing, and you're also one of the example.
From the Guru Parampara.
Parampara.
Guru
From the
Parampara.
Parampara.
Four disciplic successions authorized. What are the 4 paramparas that are authorized by Krishna to?
Brahma, Shri,
Brahma,
Lakshmi.
Kumara. Kumara Parampara.
Mataji, just wait. Sita Mataji, yes, Mataji.
So it was Brahma, Shri Parampara. Then we had, sorry, I'm missing the third. It was Rudra or Lord Shiva. And then fourth was 4 Kumaras.
Yes, very nice. So it's not just ISKCON. We get that criticism a lot. Why do we get it? Because we are most famous. Because we are very vocal about it. We keep on talking. We keep on shouting. Other paramparas are not so, are maybe they are more sober. I don't know. But ISKCON belongs to Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So from Lord Brahma. Okay, and Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami from Lord Shiva. Shri Sampradaya, Madhvacharya, most prominent Acharya. They are also authorized. Kumar Sampradaya, Nimbarka Acharya, from most prominent Sampradaya. So there are 4 Sampradayas which can tell us about Krishna. It's not just ISKCON, but ISKCON is most famous. Why? Because we are very loud about it. We talk a lot. We preach a lot. We sit down with people and we teach them word by word by word. Okay, I don't know if other sampradayas are doing it, anybody and everybody. So, okay, but we do get the criticism that just ISKCON. People think that only ISKCON, and that's fine. Yes, Radhika Mataji, why are you unmuted?
Yeah, because I have 2 doubts, ma'am. One is now that you spoke about parampara, you all 4 paramparas, do they preach exactly the same version?
Why will they preach exactly? They preach exactly the same prayojan, and Sambandha Abhideya prayojan stays the same. Okay. Every parampara says that a living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. One's aim of life should be to surrender to Krishna, and one's prayojan or goal of life should be to go back to Krishna. But the way it is presented can be different. You know, Prabhupada gives the example of Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya Sampradaya or Vishnu Sri Sampradaya, Tirupati, Krishna, the Tirupati, Krishna is Tirupati. He is enjoying the worship in opulence. How heavily bedecked he is with proper, like so many jewels. You know, how nicely the devotees are like submerged in worshipping him. He's enjoying opulent garlands. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is a cowherd boy. We're milking the cows. So Krishna is enjoying whatever a devotee is offering him. So principle is same, but the application of principle can be variable. And Krishna is enjoying it. So ultimately, he's the enjoyer. Okay.
Sure. And one more query, just prior to this, you were talking about the person who got distracted the moment he saw a prostitute. So what I was asking is, hello?
Ajamila. His name is Ajamila.
Ajamila. So are we telling we should not have distractions? I didn't get that actual point. Or in spite of distractions, we should have control?
No, I was telling that just by, by our own strength, we cannot control the ever disturbing senses. Like Ajamila was trying to control his senses by his own attempt, right? He was trying to like say that, oh, remember the mantras that his father told, remember the austerities that he has performed, right? That telling that by doing that we cannot control our ever disturbing senses. The only way to control the senses is to engage them in Krishna's service, active service.
Correct.
I also gave example that when I am passing by, first of all, I don't even remember when the TV was on, which is amazing. I think last 4 months we haven't even turned on the TV. But there has been chances that when the TV was on and I'm walking by and kids are watching cartoon or something and I look up, oh, that looks nice. That looks, but then so I also have a tendency, right? Say, okay, let's see. But then I'm like, oh, by the way, I have to go and offer the food to the needy. So I go because I have some service to do.
Sure.
Not like, oh, Krishna says don't watch. Krishna says don't watch. Krishna says don't watch. No. Something higher is there. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so this is very nice. I really like this line, gain or victory at Krishna's concern. So actually, when we surrender to Krishna, we become Krishna's headache. Why? Because it's Krishna's headache now, whether I lose or I gain. Maro bhi rakho bhi joy cha tumar. Manas deho deha jo kuch mora. Arpitatyo kare Nand Kishora. Bhaktivedanta Thakur Prabhupada sings this. So what happens? That the yogis are very busy in showing yogic powers. You know, so many yogis. Name some yogis. Name some yogis who are very busy in showing very yogic powers from the Shastras. Who was that yogi who was meditating under the sea? And who was that yogi? I can say Durvasa Muni, who came to blaspheme Amrish Maharaj, and he was such a big yogi that he took a hair out from his head and made a great demon out of it. They were very busy in showing his power. And then there was this yogi who was under the water meditating. Subar, what is his name? Dhaneshwari Mataji, what is his name? Subar Krishna.
I'm not able to recollect, Mataji.
So it starts with Subari Muni. I think it's Subari Muni. He was meditating under the water for many years, and he saw two fishes, fishes uniting with each other, and he got bewildered. So he came out, okay, and he wanted to have a family. So he went to this king, and the king had 50 daughters. So he said he wants to marry. Now the king knew that this person is a very big yogi. I cannot say anything because he will, he can just do some yogic power and I'll be dead. So he played a trick. Because Subari Muni was meditating under the water, his skin had become very shriveled, and he was very ugly. And his 50 daughters were very beautiful. So he did not want to marry the daughters to him. But he could not say no also because he knew that he was yogi, powerful. So he played a trick. The king played a trick. The king said, I will do one thing. I will call all 50 of them here, and whoever wants to marry you, she will choose you. So Subari Muni, he understood the mind of the king that nobody will choose me because how horrible I'm looking. My skin is wrinkled. I am looking like an old 90-year-old man. The 20-year-old girl is not going to marry. So by his yogic power, he became a very handsome young man. So when 50 daughters came out, they all wanted to marry him now. So he expanded himself into 50 times, but his expansion was like a mirror image, not like Krishna's expansion. So he is very busy in showing his yogic power, right? He's converting his body to beautiful body, expanding, very busy. Or Durvasa Muni is very busy in showing his yogic power. Now, Amrish Maharaj is a devotee. Devotee also has a yogic power, but is he busy? No. Who is busy in showing yogic power to save Amrish Maharaj? Krishna. Because it is Krishna's business now. He has surrendered. Now Krishna sends his Sudarshan Chakra and shows his yogic power. Okay, so that way, Krishna, when somebody surrendered to Krishna, all these childlike plays, Prabhupada says childlike play. I'm not so elevated. I will be scared if somebody shows such powers. But Prabhupada said these childlike plays are nothing because Krishna takes care of a devotee. So Krishna consciousness is powerful. Okay, following Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. Krishna says, chant Hare Krishna, okay Krishna. Krishna says, eat my prasadam, okay Krishna. I think I told here, right? Was it this class or Sadhu Sangha where I said that I attended a retreat 4 years ago or so in Gitanagari, and the topic of the retreat was saying yes to Krishna. Was it this class or some other class?
No, ma'am, not this class.
Not this class.
Sadhu Sangha class.
Oh, it was Sadhu Sangha? Okay. So the retreat topic was saying yes to Krishna. So one Mataji, Ramangi Mataji, she took a class on saying yes to Krishna. Amazing class. She's temple president of ISKCON Chicago. Sita Mataji, I should connect you to her. So she's amazing. Amazing. She broke down yes as you empower self. How much am I empowering myself minute to minute to say yes to Krishna? How much? So it's a relationship. Both have to work. So how much am I working in that relationship? So this is one of the ways of saying yes to Krishna. That follow the dictation of Krishna. That's okay, Krishna. Yes, Krishna. So we empower ourselves when we say yes. Okay, so unless and until Krishna is satisfied, this Varnashrama system has no meaning. The whole goal of Varnashrama system is for spiritual elevation. So, a couple of points is what is yoga, what is who is the supreme God, and he's saying here that become even-minded. And even-minded means get out of the dualities. What are the duality? Whether I will fail or whether I will succeed. Get out of that confusion, Arjuna. Any question, or I can go ahead. I want to do till 53 today, please. Okay, Shashi Prasad Prabhu, you can read. Radhika Mataji, you have a question?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddho saranam anivicham krapna phale hetava. Translation. O Dhananjaya, rid yourself of all fruity activities by devotional service and surrender fully to that consciousness. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Purport. One who has actually come to understand one's constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Lord gives up all engagements save working in Krishna consciousness. As already explained, Buddhi Yoga means transcendental love, service to the Lord. Such devotional service is the right course of action for the living entity. Only misers desire to enjoy the fruit of their own work just to be further entangled in material bondage. Except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. One should therefore never desire to be the cause of work. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. Misers do not know how to utilize the assets of riches which they acquire by good fortune or by hard labor. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. Like the misers, unfortunate persons do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
This is pretty self-explanatory. That how can we get rid of the fruitive activities? By working for Krishna. It's not that we can get rid of an activity. No, we can. The activity has to be directed towards Krishna. That is where Mayavad philosophy and Vaishnava philosophy differ. Mayavad philosophy says Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. This world is false. There's nothing in it that can be done. Just sit down and meditate and do austere activities. Why? So that you can become merged in the sky. Okay, but Vaishnava philosophy says this world is not false. This world is temporary. How can false thing come out of absolute truth? Krishna is absolute truth. How can anything false? Prabhupada, when he was giving this lecture, he said, we do not want to depress Krishna. Krishna will feel depressed. I made so many things and these people are saying, this is false. So we don't depress Krishna, but we use this world to serve Krishna. Krishna, this is yours. Let me use it and give it to you. You have given it to me for the time being of my duration of life. This is amazing. One should never desire to be the cause of work. We have to keep this inside us. If I'm working and let's say I am not getting success in the work, and I am, again and again, like getting something, some roadblock is coming, then some people get very succumbed. Some people get very, very succumbed to the, like for example, a big businessman loses the business or some loss happens, they undergo depression. The mind becomes very depressed. Why does it become depressed? Why? Because they thought that that was the only way that could have made them happy. Now there is no reason to be happy. The reason to be happy is gone. So now I can never be happy. So now I have to be depressed. So the duality is sitting there. But a person who faces so-called reverses, Prabhupada faced so many reverses. So many reverses when he was establishing ISKCON. So many problems. So many, there were executions on the life of the devotees in Mayapur. It was a barren land when they first started constructing the temple there. Indians were not helping. Okay, so Prabhupada brought his dancing white elephants from European countries and American countries to make a temple in Mayapur, India, just because they were not Indians. The local people, the local goons in Bengal, were coming and assaulting the devotees in the middle of the night. So many devotees got stabbed. So many of them got gunshot wounds. If you read about it, what was the mistake? What was the mistake? The mistake was it a mistake to establish a temple for Krishna in India? People are so jealous, envious. So many reverses, so many devotees lost their life at the time of establishment of ISKCON. So it is not so easy to become Krishna conscious. It takes a lot of effort from one's own side, and plus the ultimate thing is the mercy of the Guru and Acharyas. So we should never think ourselves to be the cause of work. Did the devotees stop coming? Did they get scared that, okay, we are not going to go to India anymore? No, they came more. More of them came. This is not good. Prabhupada wants it. It needs to be done no matter what. Doesn't matter whether I'm going to live or die. There is one devotee of Prabhupada, Malti Mataji. She's American. She was a hippie. She used to take drugs when she met Prabhupada, LSD. So all of them. Prabhupada made them so nice devotees. So she was serving Prabhupada in Vrindavan. When Vrindavan temple was getting open, she was in Vrindavan. And one more thing, she and her husband Sham Sundar Prabhu, so they had a 9-day-old baby. Okay, Saraswati, the baby was born in America, and Prabhupada told them and one more couple, Yamuna Mataji and her husband, to go to UK and start a temple there. So she had just given birth, 9 days old baby she had. They went. Not that there were some people and contacts in United Kingdom. Nothing. They knew nobody. They had nothing. I was reading, there was the way they had to cross over from security check and United Kingdom was that you have to show that you have money to live in this country. So they only had this much money in the hand. So what happened? Once Jamna Mataji and her husband crossed the security check with the money, they wire transferred the money to Malti Mataji and Sham Sundar Prabhu so that now they can show the same money. And they were living on the roads at 9-day-old baby, 9-day-old child, but they went. They went to open the temple for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure, and so many reverses, so much cold. My mother was reading it one day and she couldn't stop crying. Don't think that it is given to us served in the plate. One has to work. But did they get worried? Did they lose the enthusiasm? They became more enthusiastic. And there's so many temples now. They opened Bhaktivedanta Manor. They did not go here and there. They went directly to George Harrison. Okay, that is Krishna consciousness, a little bit that we can imagine. So, but a miser will think that I am the cause of this work. Now my work is spoiled. Now I have no other reason to live. Okay. Okay, we can go to the next verse.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sailesh Kumar Dixit sir has joined us.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Shailesh Kumar Prabhu. I was missing you. You are feeling well? Your health is fine? Prabhu, you can unmute. Whenever you can unmute, you can tell us. Okay, who wants to read? Dharneshwari Mataji, I saw you wanted to read. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrata dushkrite tasmad yoghaya yujushva yoga karmashu kaushalam. Translation: a man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, O Arjuna, which is the art of all work. Perfect. Since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of his good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitutional position. Once ignorance can be removed by the instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, teaches one to surrender unto Lord Sri Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So he's saying that it is not sin because you're going to work for me, and working for me means getting purified. When we work for Krishna, we feel purified. Otherwise, how can we carry on doing the same service every day? There was a very nice devotee in Vrindavan, a local Brajvasi. So he would write Radha, Shri Radhe everywhere. If you go to Vrindavan, let me see if we can search out. You will find all this Shri Radhe written everywhere in Vrindavan, on the trees, on the walls. So he is the one who will be painting the walls, and I've seen him. Shri Radhe. So one of my, there is one more devotee. Yeah, this one. You can see. When you go to Vrindavan, you will see written like this, Shri Radha, like that. So he was the one who was writing it everywhere. Same pattern. Okay, so one of my another devotee that I used to preach with in Massachusetts, he's very famous now. His name is Amrinder Das. So his name was Amarnath at that time. He told me that he was in Vrindavan and this Babaji was writing Shri Radhe everywhere. So he told him, Amrinder told him that let me help you, Babaji, because you're alone and you're writing. Let me also serve. So he scolded the Babaji. He scolded Amrinder Prabhu. He said, "I'm not going to give you my service. This is my service. I am decorating Vrindavan with this." So like that, how can we go on doing Hare Krishna chanting every day? How can we go on cooking for the deities every single day? How can we go for street sankirtan every day? How can I go on taking these classes week after week, every day? There is some taste, okay? There is some taste. And who gives the taste? Krishna gives the taste. Because sincerity defines, there's a saying, right? The attitude defines your altitude. So the attitude, if you see someone sincerely engaged in Krishna's service, generally temple devotees who live in the temple, they are the one who are constantly engaged in the deity worship. We are living outside our not so much. If you see someone who have given their lives, then immediately understand that they are blessed by Krishna and they have gotten rid of this good and bad actions even in this life. So many devotees I know. Dhruva Maharaj Prabhu, he's temple president of Vidanagri. My God, he never stops. He takes care of the farm. Generally president means that he will have a little bit more chair time, sit down and work. So many cows he has to go. If a cow falls sick, he can't sleep unless and until the cow feels better. Every 2 hours. And when we did not have skid loader in the Goshala to feed the cows, he was going every 3 hours to feed the cows. He would go 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 12 a.m., 3 a.m., 6 a.m. He would go because the cows are hungry and we have to go on putting to feed them. I have seen such devotees. Namanishta Prabhu, he was messaging me, your 2:30 a.m. that we are going to start the 9th batch in January. 2:30 a.m. He's giving class and Ani is attending. How are they doing it? How? Because Krishna is merciful. Krishna has given that spiritual potency. Okay. Any question or can we go to 51?
Please go ahead, Mataji.
Dikshit Prabhu was unmuted, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Usually you are one of the first students.
No, today this thing I overslept. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That is okay. Sometimes it's fine.
But Krishna wanted him to sleep.
Maybe, quite possible.
Thank you for coming, Prabhu. Okay, who wants to read Annapurna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Good.
Yeah. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchati anamayam. The wise engaged in devotional service take refuge in the Lord and free themselves from the cycle of birth and death by renouncing the fruits of action in the material world. In this way, they can attain that state beyond all miseries. The liberated living entities seek that place where there are no material miseries. The Bhagavatam says, Samasrita ye pada pallava plavam mahat padam punya yaso murare bhavam buddhir vatsapadam param padam yad vipadam ya tesham. For one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of cosmic manifestations and is famous as Mukunda or giver of mukti. The ocean of material world is like water contained in calf's hoof print. Parampadam, or the place where there are no material miseries, or Vaikuntha, is his goal, not the place where there is danger in every step of life. Owing to ignorance, one does not know that this material world is a miserable place where there are dangers at every step. Out of ignorance only, less intelligent persons try to adjust to the situation by fruitive activities, thinking that resultant actions will make them happy. They do not know that no kind of material body anywhere within the universe can give life without miseries. The miseries of life, namely birth, death, old age, and disease, are present everywhere within the material world. But one who understands this real constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Lord and thus knows the position of personality of Godhead engages himself in transcendental loving service of Lord. Consequently, he becomes qualified to enter into Vaikuntha planets where there is neither material miserable life nor the influence of time and death. To know one's constitutional position means to know also the sublime position of Lord. One who wrongly thinks that the living entity's position and the Lord's position are on the same level is to be understood to be in the darkness and therefore unable to engage himself in devotional service of Lord. He becomes the Lord himself and thus paves the way for the repetition of birth and death. But one who understanding that his position is to serve, transfer himself to the service of Lord, at once becomes eligible for Vaikuntha Loka. Service for the cause of Lord is called Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, or in the plain words, devotional service to Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So nicely. Whenever you read, you teach like you sound like a very nice teacher. Thank you. The wise
Thank you,
engage
Mataji.
take refuge in the Lord and free themselves. You see, there's a responsibility here. Okay, they free themselves. They know that they are in problem. They don't have to be told. So they are fully convinced. So people who are engaged in a devotional service of the Lord are fully aware that any other activity is nothing but a misery or a failure. Why? Because I'll have to die, or I'll have to suffer, I'll have to grow old. Why not do something which will not, which will free me from this embarrassment? But it takes some courage to understand. Krishna consciousness is for courageous people. So you are all very courageous. It's not easy. The cycle of birth and death free themselves by renouncing the fruits of action in the material world. In this way, they attain that state beyond misery. So again and again, Krishna gives reassurance that devotional service means freeing ourselves from the cycle of birth and death. 8th chapter is full of that. Surrender to Krishna. 9th chapter also has 1/3 of the chapter is also full of this. Surrender to Krishna and get free of this. Okay, and this is a very famous verse. Prabhupada uses this verse many times. This is actually Brahma's prayer to Krishna. After Brahma Vimoha Leela, Brahma prays to Krishna. So this is one of his prayers. The ocean of the material world is like the water contained in calf's hoof print. The ocean of material world gets reduced to the water contained in calf's hoof print. Not even calves, baby cows, hoof print. So that much Krishna reduces the suffering. And how easy it is to just cross over the hoof print of a cow. And how difficult it is to swim over the ocean of material miseries. So choose, make a choice. You see, Krishna consciousness means in life, and then choose wisely. Somebody is unmuting. Request. But why people are not coming? Because of ignorance. Why there is ignorance? Why people know? I saw so many people who were COVID positive, and they said that, okay, we have heard of it, we have seen, we are hearing the news, seeing on the TV, reading the newspaper, but I never thought that this would happen to me. Right? Because why not? If it is right there, why it cannot happen to me? That reminds me of Yudhishthira Maharaj's answer to Yaksha. What is the most wonderful thing in this world? He said, right, there are so many people, living entities are dying every moment, but the living entities who are left behind think that they will never die. But why? Why are we covered with that ignorance? Because why are we covered? Tell me. Why don't you tell me? Why do you think this ignorance is covering?
We are attached to more material world activities, Mataji.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Anybody else? Is my question clear?
Yes, Mataji. So
Okay.
it's not desiring the right thing, or maybe desiring or working towards Krishna consciousness is a hard process. So, people might not choose that. It's easy to live in the material life and enjoy the fruits versus put in the time and effort to go on that path.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. It's a practical answer. Anybody else? Anybody
It is
else?
easy, Mataji, it is easy to get that material desires than the Krishna consciousness, which is a bit difficult. Like you have to be disciplined.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice.
Yeah.
So, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, I keep wanting. Yes, I keep wanting to do this with all of you. Bhaktivedanta Thakur says ignorance is because of Sharira avidya jal, jade indriya tahe kal. So Sharira, because of the gross body that one has acquired. Soul is not supposed to have this gross and subtle bodies that we have, but we have acquired. Sharira avidya jal, jode indriya tahe kal. And there is a network of senses. Network. What is it? Jade indriya tahe kal. Jade indriya means network of the senses. Jiva fele vishya sagre. And the most abominable sense is the tongue. Because the tongue throws a living entity in the ocean of material miseries. Jiva fele vishya sagre. Tare madhe jiva ati. Lohumay sudharmati. So it's full of greed. The tongue keeps on wanting to taste abominable things. Dead body of a living entity, is it any taste? Is there any taste in a dead body of anybody? No, but his jiva, the tongue attracts through the via media of mind, tongue. So then what happens? The living entity becomes entangled. So what is the basic reason? The basic reasons are anarthas. We have misgivings in the heart. And those misgivings are pulling us. so many misgivings. And how did it come into action? It came into action when the soul fell down from spiritual world to material world. Prabhupada gives example of rainwater. Rainwater, if it is caught on the top of a mountain, is very pure. There is no contamination in that water. But when the rainwater comes down and falls in the city and touches the road, it becomes very dirty. Now, how do we get rid of that dirt mixed with so many things? Very difficult, right? Like that, our consciousness is polluted because we came in contact with three modes of nature. Why did we come in contact? Because we left Krishna. Why did we leave Krishna? Because we wanted to. It is not Krishna, it's us who wanted to. And no matter where we go, there is always going to be a misery because four miseries remain same everywhere. But that old age disease, so become wise and aim for a life which has no misery. And what is the meaning of the word karma yoga or buddhi yoga? Means service for the cause of the Lord or devotional service to Krishna. Okay, clear? This is clear that he's again saying that take refuge in me because that will free you from the cycle of birth, death, and renouncing fruits of action in the material world. Means you will become purified. So this fight is not a sin. You're doing it under my supervision. Okay, we can read this. Who would like to read? Annu Mataji, you think you are in a position to read?
No, Mataji, there's no light here.
Oh, sorry. Rupa Mataji.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यास्य श्रुतस्य च. Translation: when your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. Purport: there are many good examples in the lives of the great devotees of the Lord, of those who became indifferent to the rituals of the Vedas simply by devotional service to the Lord. When a person factually understands Krishna and his relationship with Krishna, he naturally becomes completely indifferent to the rituals of fruitive activities, even though an experienced Brahmana, Sri Madhavendra Puri, a great devotee and Acharya in the line of the devotees, says, Sandhya Vandana Bhadram Astu Bhavato Bho Snana Tubhyam Namo Bho Deva Pitarascha Tarpana Vidhau Naham Kshamah Kshamyatam Yatra Kwapi Nishadya Yadava Kulottamsya Kamsa Dvishaha Smaram Agham Harami Tad Alam Mane Kim Anyena Me. O Lord, in my prayers, Mataji is gone.
I know.
Mataji, I'm not able to see Mataji. Oh Lord, from there. Let us scroll a little. Yes. Oh Lord, in my prayers 3 times a day, all glory to you. Bathing, I offer my obeisances unto you. O demigods, O forefathers, please excuse me for my inability to offer you my respects. Now, wherever I sit, I can remember the great descendant of the Yadu dynasty, Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, and thereby I can free myself from all sinful bondage. I think this is sufficient for me. The Vedic rites and rituals are imperative for neophytes, comprehending all kinds of prayer 3 times a day, taking a bath early in the morning, offering respects to the forefathers, etc. But one is fully in Krishna consciousness and is engaged in his transcendental loving service, one becomes indifferent to all these regulative principles because he has already attained perfection. If one can reach the platform of understanding by service to the Supreme Lord Krishna, he has no longer to execute different types of penances and sacrifices as recommended in revealed scriptures. And similarly, if one has not understood that the purpose of the Vedas is to reach Krishna and simply engages in the rituals, etc., then he is uselessly wasting time in such engagements. Persons in Krishna consciousness transcend the limit of Shabda Brahma or the range of the Vedas and Upanishads.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So he's saying that dense forest of Vedic knowledge, once your intelligence has passed, you will not be attached to do any ritual because you've already gone through the meaning behind those rituals. And the meaning behind those rituals is to surrender to Krishna. So when you reach to the ultimate goal, you don't have to go back and do that again and again. Madhavendra Puri is one of our acharyas. He is playing a very nice devotee. Madhavendra Puri is so nice. His story we should read one day in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very, very dear to Krishna and very, very sweet acharya. Very loving. So he prays that I am sorry, O demigods or forefathers, excuse me, because I'm not able to pay my obeisances to you. Why? Because Krishna is not getting out of my mind only. You know, Krishna has has captured my mind so much that I can't think of anybody else. So I apologize to everyone. Basically, it means that he has already reached the aim of the devotional life. That becomes, this is called ragatmika bhakti or spontaneous devotional service. Spontaneously, one is devoted to Krishna. Spontaneously. One doesn't have to look at the any activity to be done. It's just, but it's not so easy to reach. One has to go through so many steps. But a devotee of Krishna can just give it. You know, Acharya can just make anyone on the spontaneous platform of devotional service. Like we have example of hunter, Mrigari. Remember? Do you all remember the story of Mrigari? The hunter?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Is there anybody in this class who does not remember the story of Mrigari, hunter?
I don't.
Yes, go ahead.
No, I don't remember.
Mrigari,
Even I also don't know, Mataji.
So Mrigari was a hunter who used to kill the animals half dead. And Narad Muni once came and asked him, why is he killing them half dead? First of all, killing is an offense, but killing them half is half dead, so they flutter to death, like so much pain. It's sinful. He said, that is how my father taught me. This is a family business. Killing the animals is a family business, and that's how I was trained. So Narad Muni tells him, at once stop all these affairs and go and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He says, fine, I'll do it, but who's going to supply food to my family? Because if my family is not going to get food supply because you're telling me to run my family business, then we're going to starve to death. Narad Muni says, don't worry, I'll take care of that. So he goes and shaves his head and sits on the bank of a river with his wife with Tulsi plant and chant Hare Krishna. He starts chanting Hare Krishna. So now he becomes a pious man. The whole village is now, the news has spread that the hunter has become a rishi. So everybody is bringing him offerings, you know, butter, ghee, milk, yogurt, dal, rice, because he's now chanting Hare Krishna. So he's saintly now. So his wife and him are talking and they're saying, Narad Muni is sending so much. It's just two of us. We are not going to eat like bags and bags full of rice, dal. So he says, yes, prepare everything and offer to Krishna and distribute back in the village. Then one day, Narad Muni and Parvata Muni, they come to visit Mrigari. And Mrigari sees his spiritual master, and when he comes to pay obeisances to Narad Muni, he's hopping. You know, 1 foot after he's hopping. So when he's going to do dandavat to his spiritual master, he takes his chadar, okay, and then he cleans the ground like this. So Narad Muni is like, what is going on? So Narad Muni asks him, Mrigari, are you sick? Your leg is hurt? Why are you hopping? And what were you doing on the floor with your chadar? You cannot really clean the earth because whatever you do, there'll be earth only. He said, oh, there were ants on the floor. I was being careful that I should not step on the ants and kill them unnecessarily. And I was using my chadar to put the ants on the side. So where this was a person who was killing the animals half dead, calling it a family business, and now he doesn't even want to kill one ant. Okay, so that is a result of Krishna consciousness, that one becomes convinced, fully realized. So this benediction given to Mrigari by Narad Muni is his causeless mercy, is the causeless mercy of Narad Muni. I read, was there anything in the previous life of this Mrigari Rishi that Narad Muni became so merciful to him? And it stated no. This is a kind of bhakti which is given to a person, a non-deserving person, by a pure devotee because of their causeless mercy. There's no reason. He had no credentials that he had to become such person. So unless until one can reach to that platform of Krishna consciousness, we have to offer obeisances to demigods and forefathers and everybody. When we chant Hare Krishna, it's actually automatically happening. Okay, can we do this 53 also, please?
Sure,
Who would
Mataji.
like? Thank you. Madhurani Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Shruti vipra विप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिस्तदा योगमवापस्यसि. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Purport: to say that one is in samadhi is to say that one has fully realized Krishna consciousness. That is, one in full samadhi has realized Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan. The highest perfection of self-realization is to understand that one is eternally the servitor of Krishna and that one's only business is to discharge one's duties in Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person or unflinching devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, nor be engaged in fruitive activities for promotion to the heavenly kingdom. In Krishna consciousness, one comes directly into communion with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna may be understood in that transcendental state. One is sure to achieve the result by such activities and attain conclusive knowledge. One has only to carry out the orders of Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
Krishna. Again, he's saying when it becomes fixed in the trance of self-realization, then only you can say that one is fixed in divine consciousness. We cannot make a show. How long can we make a show? That is why so many people, they are, especially in India, they come out as self-acclaimed gurus and they are like having thousands and thousands of followers. But one fine day, the news comes that this person was underworld don, or was doing this, was doing that. So using that is upadharma. Upadharma means using the religion or scripture for one's own sense gratification. That is a type of a sinful activity, actually. So we have to be very sincere because Krishna consciousness is personal. It is not to show to the public. It's a very personal relationship with Krishna. Yes, we can help each other, but ultimately it is between the soul and the super soul, with the via media of the spiritual master. Yeah, so that is what he's saying. That is why he's saying that one has to just carry out the orders of Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master, because that will make that journey successful. Okay, the journey of self-discovery. So beware whenever this is a litmus test. Whenever we go somewhere and the person is bedecked with jewels and a lot of makeup and talking some spirituality, uh, um, and the followers are looking like they are in so much of ecstasy, just look at the activity. Okay, if they are genuine, I'm not saying everybody's fake, But if they're not genuine, it will show. Just because you're chanting Hare Krishna, it will show it to you. Krishna will reveal that what is real, what is not real. So this ends actually the description of defeating sinful reaction argument of Arjuna by Krishna. This ends the defeat, the thing, from verse number 38 to 53. So we started with 48th verse today, that Krishna is telling him that become steadfast in yoga. And then he's explaining the meaning of the word yoga, and he's also explaining the meaning of the word supreme. And he's saying that the main aim of becoming a yogi is to be situated in, that's where we ended. We started that become situated in yoga, and we ended 53rd verses, that then only one is situated in the divine consciousness. Why am I bringing it up? Because from 54th verse, Krishna is going to start explaining the symptom of a person who is in divine consciousness. Okay, in the middle, he was saying that only by devotional service or this kind of yogic practice, we can get rid of all the reactions of good and bad activities. So good and bad, not just bad, good and bad activities can be gotten rid of. Okay, and we have a responsibility of freeing ourselves also. We have to do our work. And Krishna will see the sincerity. Krishna will definitely thankless, just thankful to the person who surrenders to him. And whenever someone is firmly established in devotional service, then the material miseries become like water in the calf's hoof print. It's not even ocean anymore that one has to cross through. Okay, and this is where we are. Divine consciousness. Start with yoga, ended with you have attained divine consciousness if you become fixed in that knowledge. Now next week we will start that Arjuna is going to ask, what are the symptoms? What are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? Any questions? Because I do have some things to do with you all today for next 10 minutes. Any questions?
No, Mataji.
Nobody has any questions?
Mataji, there is something called as Swadharma. So Swadharma, the what I read in the purport is that two kinds of Swadharma. Can a person have both? Because what I understood is that in the material world, with this material body, you have to do duties which are prescribed for the material body. That is one dharma, Swadharma. The other one is based on that activity which the soul does when the soul is enlightened or is in the mode of spiritual activities. So I didn't understand, is it that the soul has to do both the dharmas, or is it that material body, for material body there is a Swadharma which is followed, and then when the soul is elevated, there is another dharma which is following spirituality, or both has to be done together?
Okay, very nice question. As long as the soul is conditioned in the material world and is in the concept of body and mind, then we have to execute the dharma related to the body and mind, because I'm conditioned that way. If I'm seeing myself as a mother of these children, or a citizen of this country, or a daughter of this person, or a son of this person, I am in that consciousness, right? I have that intelligence, and I have that recognition of myself. Actually, it is called upadhi. I have that upadhi for myself, right? So then I have to work with that. The ultimate aim is to get rid of it, but I just can't get rid of it artificially. I have to work. I have to do work to get rid of it, by following the spiritual authority to work in such a manner that if I'm taking care of my children, it has to be done in such a manner that they actually belong to Krishna. Okay, Mataji, but once the living entity is liberated, then the only Swadharma is constitutional devotion, constitutional position of Krishna.
In the material body, when the human mind is liberated, then the only Swadharma is Krishna consciousness.
Yes, but so long one is not, then we have two, conditional and constitutional. I think I showed this in the class, Mataji. I think you're coming to my classes now, 3 o'clock. So Bhagavad Gita, Mataji, chapter 9, text number 30. Srila Prabhupada explains this very nicely. Apichat Suduracharo Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhak. So I'm going to make you read, request you to read this, whichever I have highlighted. Can you read it, please?
Yeah, the word Sudurachara used in this verse is very significant, and we should understand it properly. When a living entity is conditioned, he has two kinds of activities. One is conditional and the other is constitutional. As for protecting the body or abiding by the rules of the society and state, certainly there are different activities. Even for the devotees, in connection with the conditional life, and such activities are called conditional. Besides these, the living entity who is fully conscious of his spiritual nature and is engaged in Krishna consciousness or the devotional service of Lord has activities which are called transcendental.
Okay. So such activities are performed in his constitutional position and they're technically called devotional service. So the most important constitutional activity that we're doing is chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Did you, it's a practice.
So Mataji, if a person gets enlightened and realizes, is it okay to just leave everything what is material, even including family, and just meditate? Because spiritual activity is the Swadharma then.
If a person is fully realized, then this question will not come to the mind, is it okay or not? Okay, the very fact that this question comes in the mind means that this person is not fully realized. Okay, let's say that some lady, she's a mother. This question doesn't come in her mind, right? That whether I should take care of my child or not, is it okay or not, right? Does it come in the mind of that mother?
No, Mataji.
Because she is fully realized that I am a mother, I have to take care of my child, right? So if a person is fully realized, then this question, this doubt will not be there. Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay. You asked very nice questions, Rashmi Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So I want to do two things. So please, one is I'm getting too many critics about these forms. So I want to make sure these forms are not to enforce Krishna consciousness on someone else. Sorry, these forms are made by Bhaktivedanta Institute in Mayapur. And they're universally adopted in ISKCON. It's not just ISKCON Mangaluru has made these forms. We have just got it from Bhaktivedanta Institute and we are showing. I also had to do it when I was a newcomer in ISKCON. This form just tells us that actually what is the seriousness of the people who are coming to class. Are they coming just for recreation or are they getting serious about it? So this is level 1. I've taken Shraddhavan. So the form says, I will fulfill the following standards. So will fulfill. Okay, this can be, okay, one may not be fulfilling it right now, but I will do it. The most important thing of all the things written here is chanting Hare Krishna. At least one round of chanting Hare Krishna one must be doing before they can fill this form. Or they make a vow that I will do it. A vow means you cannot break it. Otherwise, this is a commitment done to the deities and we can't get their reaction. Let's not do that. Let's not do it out of the fear. Let's do it out of the love for the Lord. Okay, now these are the recommended books to read. It's not that we have to read books and then fill the form. This form filling should not take more than 10-15 minutes. Okay. This is very simple. Shikshashtaka, 10 offenses to be avoided, Bhoga offering mantra, Prasadam honoring mantra, Panchatattva mantra, Prabhupada mantra, Hare Krishna mantra. So if you don't know, then you email me and I will send you what is Shikshashtaka, what are 10 offenses. These are just the basic demographic questions. This is also how often do you attend classes at the temple, including online. You can write. Online classes do you attend every month? How many? You can write. How many rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra you're chanting? Right. How long does it take to chant your rounds? You don't have to be exact. You can write 1 round takes 5 to 7 minutes or whatever time you think it takes for you. When do you chant most of your rhymes? Only 3 pairs are there, morning, afternoon, night. When do you chant is right. Where do you chant most of the rounds? Walking, sitting, in the house, office, traveling, driving. Because we want to know how are people chanting. Are they chanting in a proper manner or they're not chanting? List all the books that you have read or you're reading. You can write that currently reading Bhagavad Gita as it is in the detailed class. And if you have read anything else, then write it. Do you accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? You can answer it. Why do you accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? How hard of a question is it? You can write because, don't write because I want to.
Mataji, what I wrote, I'll tell you.
Yes, Mataji.
I have written that we should accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead because of the 6 opulence which only the God has, and he's above the 3 material modes of the influence of 3 material modes of nature, which we are not. That is the reason.
Very nice. Nice, Mataji. Thank you. The question is very personal. It says, why do you accept Krishna? What is your reason to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So very nice. Whatever you're writing is correct. What is the position of Devtas? They are exalted devotees of Krishna and they are given powers by Krishna to manage the material affairs. Name some Devtas. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, right? Mother Durga. So many are there. Are you willing to do devotional service in ISKCON on special days and Sundays or online? You're already doing. If you're chanting Hare Krishna, Mahamanta, you're already doing. Whenever questions I'm doing, you're solving those problems. You're doing the assignments. You have made the teams. This batch, Acyuta, is doing. All of you are doing. All of you are part of some of the teams, right? So, right, yes. What is the difficulty? Please tell me in 2 minutes because I still have one more thing to talk to everyone. Please raise your hand and tell me if someone is facing the difficulty.
Mataji,
Your voice is cracking, Dharneshwari Mataji. I think she got frozen. Yes, anybody else?
the level varies, the toughness of question also varies. We need to walk through certain portion of the book. Some like this I need to walk through. Hello, Mataji, the questions are bigger actually, so that's why it is taking little time, Mataji. Nothing else.
You're chanting 16 rounds, so you're Prabhupada, right?
Yeah,
She's
Mataji.
5.
Yeah, 5, Mataji. So we have to.
So Prabhupada, what question are you stuck at?
You have to go. You have to go to the BG related. That is chapter 13 to 18, actually, if I'm right. So those things you have to walk through. And not in the initial phase, Mataji. You have to go scroll. It is a bigger question paper, Mataji. So in our PG and UG also, we didn't have big question paper. It's very big.
We should also learn SSR, Mataji, in this.
Yes, I am doing that.
Prabhupada-Acharya. It's a little bit tough. Actually, we need to go through the entire chapters of SSR. We should be perfect and enough to answer all that.
Maybe in 1 or 2 days I will complete. Then I will be able to answer these things actually. I need this week, Mataji. I will do it actually.
All the time. That's fine. I'm thankful to you and all of you for doing it. Yeah. But what I want to say is that it should not become a tedious process. What I'm hearing is that people are reading chapter first and then going to the question. But I am saying you have already heard enough that you should be able to answer the questions. If you get one specific question, then go back and refer. But don't go. Okay.
Yeah.
So what
I'm
question?
Doing that only.
Do you worship Tulsi every day? Do you water Tulsi every day? Do you circumambulate Tulsi? Please write Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Om Jnanati Mirandasya. Mataji, wherever you're stuck, you can email me and I will send you that answer. Okay, what are the qualities of a bona fide guru? At least write one quality. He's most addicted to Krishna. Prabhupada said that. Unique position of Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON. Nobody is called as Founder-Acharya other than Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the only personality in the entire family of ISKCON across the world who has a title of Founder-Acharya. Everybody else says sannyasi or vanaprastha or brahmachari or Grihastha, but nobody is called Founder-Acharya. Prabhupada is Param Guru. Everybody has a relationship with Srila Prabhupada. Even if you are not initiated, you still have a relationship with Srila Prabhupada because you're reading his books. 4 pillars of Dharma state what sinful activity destroys each one of them. Oh, this is from first canto Srimad Bhagavatam. This question is here. This is tough. Did you answer this question, Dharneshwari Mataji? Hare Krishna. Mataji, you're muted.
No, Mataji, I'm yet to do that actually. I'm doing SSR now. So after that, I will do related to Bhagavatam also, Mataji. I've gone through the first chapter of the canto and second chapter I'm doing, but I'm yet to do that actually. I'm not able to.
Okay, wherever you're stuck, you please email me and I will help you out. You don't have to. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends pure devotion service. We should not have any material desire. Explain this. Yeah, Anya Bilashita Shunya. Okay.
This one I think we have heard actually. There is now, I think there was one sloka also. So we want to have a birth after birth, but only to serve Krishna, no Mataji. Is that an answer actually?
Manishwari Bhavatat Bhaktarahita Gita. Prabhupada was saying 10 people have answered this question so far. Yeah, see, only 10 responses so far. So,
yeah, I will do it, Mataji. I'll close it actually. Yeah.
Yes, every one of you, if you're stuck anywhere, you can email me and I will try to help you. And if I can't help you, then I will reach out to more senior devotee and you will be helped. Don't feel yourself left for 6 to 8 hours because reading Prabhupada books is difficult in the beginning. It's not easy. That's one thing. But please don't think that we are trying to enforce things on you. I have a need to know how many are coming for refreshment or how many are really serious about the process. Both are welcome. I am not saying that if you're not serious, you're just coming for weekend refreshment for the class. Fine, please come, but I just want to know. That's it. Okay?
Ma'am, before you move, I think this is Radhika here, and I'm talking on behalf of someone who had actually messaged that I have not yet started a round 1, so I'm not even qualified for level 1. Can you address that, ma'am? Because a person should be in this group.
Well, what is a barrier? The thing is, when I did this many years ago, we directly went to Prabhupada Ashram. We got it. It was a ceremony in the temple. But if somebody is not chanting one round, then why don't you chant one round? And so what is the barrier? I'm more interested in knowing the barrier than the no. What is the reason behind the no?
What they told is that, I really don't have time. I was so stretched. I didn't probe. I just left.
Yeah, so whoever it is, please email to me. I'm good in maintaining confidentiality. We are trained in medicine to maintain confidentiality. So please feel free to email and connect because don't feel alone in this journey. Okay. If you're not chanting right now, are you making a vow that you will do it? Because once you make a vow to the deities, it is serious. And if you think that, yes, you will do it once you fill this paper out, then it's fine, do it. Because you're committing to the deities, not to me, not to anybody else. Yes, to Prabhupada and to the deities.
Ma'am, one more query which came up is, there is they said it's in level 2, it talks about some non-veg. You should not eat non-veg. And in level 5, it again asks, are you eating non-veg? So technically, if someone is eating non-veg, should not move to level 2 itself. But again, it accommodates the same question in level 5. So that was contradictory. They told I couldn't answer that. So I thought I'll take it up with you.
No contradiction. You have to fill out the form according to the number of rounds that you are chanting. Okay, there are people, I know so many people who are eating non-vegetarian food and chanting 16 rounds. There's so many people.
So in that case, they can fill the level number 5 as well.
What, Mataji?
In which case, they can directly fill level number 5 based on the rounds.
Based on the rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay,
Mataji, Mataji,
Yes.
one more challenge we are facing while filling up the form. For example, I have already attempted 15 questions. I'm stuck at the 18th. So by the time I refer and try to understand and fill up the form, it's not getting saved. It's just moving off. Again, we need to redo the entire thing. That's one more.
That's a Google thing. That's not Temple. That's not what we are doing. That's Google form quality. So that is why you should always copy paste in and put it in a Word document, and save a copy in your computer. Okay. So this is unfortunate thing. I don't know if there's a way to save. Shashi Prasad Prabhu, is there a way to save these questions? I don't think so.
No, Mataji. We have to type it in the Word file. See the questions in the screen, type in a Word file, and at one stretch start copy pasting.
Yeah. Okay. So please don't feel overwhelmed with the forms. That's not my aim. That's not my intention. My intention is I want to know, because Krishna consciousness is a serious business. There's so much to do. I want to know who wants to go to the next level and go more deep. And that will depend on what we are doing right now.
Ma'am, do you have access to who's not done it, ma'am, so that it makes more sense for us to approach those who have not done rather than, and if there is an issue, then
to me, I will be able to see, but I don't. It's not a force; it's a voluntary thing. So there are 36 people who have done, but this is all over. All
in this particular group, will you be able to spot and tell, these are people who've done or not? Or if you have that list of 36 people, if you can share, somebody can work on that to really find out if somebody is having a challenge.
Let it be voluntary in the beginning. That's a good thought, but let it be voluntary. I'm announcing it today.
Sure.
I don't want to micromanage, because it can be taken as that they lo piche hi pad gayi hai. She's not leaving us. So let it be voluntary in the beginning. And if they don't fill it, then they don't fill it. That is why next batch Understand Gita in 18 days detail that I'm doing right now, and then their level of detailed classes. Prabhu said bring a level. So I'm actually only going to accept those people who are going to show me the certificate that they have done 18 days course with us. Because what is happening is we have 200 people in the WhatsApp group, but only 20-30 are coming to the class. What is happening to 170 people? So who is not coming will be asked, why are you not coming? And if they don't reply, then I will make space for new people.
Perfect, ma'am. One last query again from the group is, if I'm doing 16 rounds, so I directly fill fifth form, and I will not do 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We move to fifth form.
Correct.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. So January 2nd is we are starting the 9th batch. So I have few days in the middle. I was thinking a few days. Let me know what your thoughts are. A few days. There are 10 mantras in Nectar of Instruction. This book, Nectar of Instruction. Very nice book. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada gave this Upadeshamrita, the instructions of doing Krishna consciousness. It's a small book. So there are 10 mantras. I was thinking we can make the 10 and 11 are basically the same. But yes, I was thinking that maybe we can do a camp in the last week of December and take up these mantras. I can give overview of each mantra, and then you all can read in detail on your own. But the timing will be 3 to 4 p.m. India time. I can't do 2-3 classes for that particular thing.
Agreed, ma'am. Recorded too.
Maybe I'll create a Google form and I'll share with all of you, and you can just fill it up. Then I can make a course and we can do it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. I wanted to do the fourth offense. Maybe I can show 1 minute just because I already made it. Fourth offense is the offense to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in persons of the Vedic version. This is the fourth offense to the holy name. Okay, maybe we can go over it next week. Is it okay? But just know that this is the fourth offense. What do you want? Because I know it's late for some of you. You need to get going. Some people are working also. Okay, we'll do it next week. Next week, Siddhadhir Muni shouldn't be so long. Thank you, everyone. Any other questions? Anything? Madhura.